Oh, 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 oh. We're starting up now. Hey, everyone. Niiamah Ashong here, and welcome to the fifth session in the Next Level Masterclass. A few months ago, I had an opportunity to talk to someone who helped me see something very clearly. I have a massive vision for my business and that goes beyond just the business, beyond clients, beyond working with people, but goes into an overall movement, the world joy movement, where we're elevating the consciousness of the world to be playing in a world of joy and collaboration and full expression for every person on earth. And what was really interesting for me was like, this was the level that I saw myself at. This is the impact that really was coursing through my veins. And I found myself, while oriented toward that overall mission, while in the direction of that mission, I was finding myself struggling to bring it to life at its next level. I had done some of the things before. And what I'm going to do right now is I can talk about this from a high level perspective. I love to bring this down into one specific moment. I think the moment where all this changed for me was a conversation I had with a colleague. She runs the team. She's a part of a team of someone else that I follow. And while we were talking, she said to me, "What kind of support do you have? I hear everything that you're trying to get done, and it's a wonderful vision. And it seems like a lot for one person. Are you going to do this alone? Or are you going to get this done?" And it was a really important conversation for me. Up until now, I had only looked into one way of getting support for myself. And I hadn't really thought about expanding in a way that allowed me to really be able to bring what I had out to life. That conversation shook me enough to get me to find my first teammate to help build the World Joy movement with me. But it was the beginning of something that really struck me, because it took me back to really thinking about where I was in the journey and who I was being. And what I realized was that every time that I've gone and made a significant, sustainable transformation of self, of actually playing at my next level, I've always done it with other people. It has never been something that I've been able to sustain alone. I've been able to see alone. I've been able to get alone. But it's been something that has been sustained within communities and within other groups. And so I started to build a group around me. I started to work with someone around in my business as part of my team. I looked to the people I was surrounded with in terms of my friends, and I actually started to make a new distinction. The distinction there being not just friends, but also peers. And I spent probably the last, I would say, 6 months really being dedicated to surrounding myself with peers around me, people who challenge me, people who inspire me, people who intimidate me, and people who I can do all the same things for as well. And up until then, 6 months ago, I had one view on what support looked like. It was just me learning more about me going forward in one area. And it's something I can feel in this moment. What I do is I work with people, I coach with people. And so I can feel in this moment some resistance, being like, I needed support beyond just the coaching. And I think I just need to call that out there, because there is but so much and but so far that I personally could go with the vision that I had. And so it's part of the reason why you're watching this now. It's part of the reason why the Next Level Masterclass has been done in the group format here, because I've seen what happens when we get additional support into the mix. And more than anything else, I truly believe that this world will actually be able to reach the levels of world joy when each and every one of us is able to express ourselves fully, express our visions fully. And that might be by creating something and supporting someone else's vision, or getting other people to support you as it goes along. So I want to dedicate this conversation here around the support that you're getting to help you build your vision. And not just the support that you need in this current moment, but for your vision to actually come to life. What is it that you actually need? And I'd love to invite you, as you're listening here and as you're participating here, actually, to think about this in, I would say, the most open space that you can, to be open to to be open to the possibility that the support you think you need in this current moment is not the support you need overall. Today's really fun. I got a chance to talk to two incredible people here in the Masterclass. I also have some things that I'm really excited about, as this is our last session. I'll be telling you a little bit about and inviting you into something that goes beyond the Masterclass that we've been in right now, in a way to continue to support you and beyond. But that will come in a little bit. For now, let's go ahead and play. Georgie, DTK, welcome today. You know, I'm going to give, I love to just give us a chance to just speak ourselves into the room right now, right? Here we go. We'll go with this. If there was one word to describe how you feel right now, what would it be? Great. Now let that word go. Let that word go. And why don't we just take some time right now just to say hello to each other? All right. I'm going to say right now, hi, DTK. Hey, Georgie.
What's up, Niiamah?
Hey. Good
Hello.
Hey. Awesome. All right. So, and I feel it's important. I feel it's important for us to make sure that we do check in this way. Let's go ahead now, and wherever you are, go ahead and just get to a place where if you have any paper or anything around you, it might be useful to have it for today. I'd love for us to start out here with just going through an exercise of envisioning. So you can go ahead and close your eyes. You can keep your eyes open if you'd like. But we've been talking about the next level and spending some time looking at where we are currently and how we can align from this place. And I wanted to spend that time on it because in getting an assessment of where we are right now and making sure we're actually in alignment, then when we start to envision what comes next, we can see it from this place as opposed to where we were. So I'm going to invite you here to see yourself a year from now, having left these sessions with everything that you want your next level to look like, and experience it. Don't just see it, experience it all around you. Experience the people that are there, experience what it looks like overall, experience the impact that you're making. Take yourself 360 days into the future, 365. Then I'd like you to triple that time, all right? So now go 3 years into the future. It's 1,000 days from today. And for the last 1,000 days, you've been showing up in your next level and all the levels afterwards. See what that looks like for you. Take the time to give yourself the gift of knowing where you're headed. See the impact that you're making. See the people that you're serving. See the relationships that you're building. See the fun that you're having. And really experience the fulfillment that comes along with it. Get clear. This is what it's about for you. This is what playing at the next level is for you. And here goes the other part of this here. This is about playing at the next levels and all the levels afterwards. See how getting great at this continues to benefit you. And then what you create with it. How are you showing up in your world? We'll go ahead and just about triple it again here. So now we're at 10 years. 10 years, for a decade now, you've been playing over and over again at your next level. 10 years ago, you couldn't even really know what that was. but it has continued to evolve and to grow from there. You're making the impact you want. You're having the conversations. You're surrounded by people who are really in for what it is that you're about. See how far it has spread. See what ease you have in your life. See who you're surrounded with, your relationships through your impact, but also your relationships in life. Who's around you? And 10 years have now gone by. You've been showing up at this level for the last 10 years. I'd love for you to go ahead and start to see the people that you've impacted and the impact that they are having on the people around them. What are the ripple effects of the way that you've been showing up at constantly accessing the levels beyond you? At being in a place where you haven't had to hold yourself back and instead have been able to comfortably live at a level 8, 9, or 10 that's great for you. Start to see that impact and the impact that they're creating in the world. How's the world changed because you decided to show up? And then we'll go ahead, we'll take it out even further. I like to go at this point, just go ahead and just see, like almost see your life and fast forward between now and the end of the last breath that you take. See your life transpiring over the days, months, and years. And as you go in there, see it all compounding upon itself. One day builds upon the next day, builds upon the next day, builds upon the next day, all the way through your life. This is not a linear game that you're playing. You're consistently moving toward what it is that you truly want. And it seems to be happening at an exponential rate. See what you've created, see what your legacy is, see what your impact has been, and see the freedom that you've had in it all. Really see, like, yeah, this feels good. This was a life well spent. This is something that my soul feels lighter. My soul feels great being involved in this. I have come here and I fulfilled what it is that I'm here to do. Really give yourself that gift. Now, when you have it, go ahead and take another 5 seconds. I want to bring us back into this conversation. I'd love to share a little bit. Share a little bit of either what you saw, how you feel. Let's really see the impact of choosing to play at your next level and continuing to do that there. And then we'll continue. Georgie or DTK, would either of you two like to share anything that you've experienced as a result of this?
Sure.
You don't have to. I hear sure. For me, it's either yes or no. Either one is fine. Okay.
Yeah. It feels second nature and effortless. I'm in that higher self space, and not only do I have a ripple effect outwards, but I'm also drawing people inwards. So I continue to work with people across the world, but through technology or going to visit them. But moreover than that, I see myself having people around my kitchen table. I feel myself having a community and a collective, like-minded people, but also people who take inspiration just from being near. My kids, their friends drop by, Auntie Georgie, I'm able to give advice. And it comes from this place of being centered. I see it as an expanded community that's not just within wherever it is that I'm living, but extends out across countries, across people. It's this feeling of connection. Yeah.
Yeah, I can really feel you when you said that. Like I could feel my own muscles just relax into that there, and feeling connected to you right here. Yeah, wonderful. Let's orient and come from that place as we continue this conversation. David, how about you?
It's interesting. One of the things it was a long playground, so I'll pull one little pinhole out. Um, Traveling with Elaine to be at launch events for my clients, for the things that they are creating, where they're creating them, right? And it's not just being the trusted advisor in the wing, it's also being the fly on the wall, just to witness what's happening and to be in the energy of what it is that they're creating. And the idea of 1,000 days out, having our calendar booked out between traveling with each other, traveling with our children, or traveling to go where my clients are doing magnificent things. That's what became clear in that window.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you both for sharing. So let's take this now a little bit further. What I want to do is give you all a chance to see, or to ask yourself here. Here we go. The question I ask here is, this is the game for you, right? At this current moment, and it can always shift, right? At this current moment, let's say that this is the game for you. What do you see in this case here potentially getting in the way of you making that come to life? What dangers do you see in getting in the way of that?
Sitting behind the screen.
Yeah,
I think that's the danger. That's a broad danger for every coach, right? When you're there's that isolation solo practitioner, isolation chamber, right?
Yeah.
Even with our team spread out everywhere, there's a tendency to be, oh, look, I'm having conversations around the globe, so of course I'm out there. No, I'm not. So I think the danger is getting a perfect imprint of my ass in my chair. That's the danger.
Yeah, thank you for that. There's this vision of like you really being out there. That's like there's a vision of your imprint, yes, and also
my impact is out there. My imprint is not here, right? I think that's the distinction.
That's the distinction.
Not making an imprint on the chair, but making an impact in the world. So,
yeah, David, we'll play with that in just a little bit there. Thank you for that, Georgie. How about you?
It would be, from that big perspective, wisdom view. I come off the mat, my heart is open, I'm full of joy, I'm ready to give and receive and all those things. And I come downstairs and my kids are like, Mom, and I go from down to, but 10 more years, they'll be at university. So hopefully they would have outgrown the preteen stage by then.
25, 22, and 18.
Right.
Sobbing phone calls from each one of them in series over the last week. So they're still in connection.
But hopefully I will have advanced. I mean, I've been working on it for the last 10 years. Say I'm about 2% of the way there.
Our recovery gets much better.
So, yes, indeed. No, I think about it myself. I call my dad up. I'm like, you've been playing this game for decades. You're locked in. You're locked in here. Yeah, I hear you there. But it sounds to me that you've created the space for yourself, and then it's just like externalities have come in and shake that up.
How do you mean? Well, kids aren't really externalities. That's the point. They're internalities with every single button hardwired to you. You can't get more internal.
Okay. I see. I see where you are. I see where you are. Yeah. I hear where you're coming from. And yeah, I think so. Let's leave that as it is. For me, that where it's coming from. The place that I'm playing with, because I don't have children, so the place that I'm playing with is along the lines of, okay, I've done all the work for myself, and then there's like things that are not me but might be me, things that I've brought into this world in some way, shape, or form, have now come in and I've entered into that space again, and I have to deal with that as well. Fantastic. So in seeing this here. There are a number of different things that might actually come into play to keep that to interfere or to impede, let's say impede the progress there. What I want to call out in this conversation is just to give you a chance here to think about if you needed to construct some kind of support for you. And I would love to keep this kind of open. It could be people, it could be space, it could be time. But let's just take some time right now to see, like, for where you're really going, what support would really help you get there. So DTK, I saw a head change, a head tilt here. And as Georgie continues to think about it, I'd love to just like get out of the high level. Let's asking everyone questions and get back and get into conversation with you. All right. You talked about your imprint and your impact.
Yeah.
Imprint and your impact. And there's something really beautiful around the travel elements of it. Right? Talking about traveling and launching with your clients there. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, the cool thing about envisioning is it's not always crystal clear, and that's what I know is that their impact is being made around the world, and that's where I want to be with them.
Yeah.
And yeah, but that's not where my head's going, because it was back to the what support. And I realize, I'm creating the environments for support. You and I are both in 4PC, and I'm involved in other places where I get this kind of exchange, and where I do work for me, and on my work in the world. And it's the in-between where the danger of the imprint comes in.
Tell me more about the in-between.
I noticed that we've been gone. I've been in this office 4 days this month. 4 days. We realized Sunday, as we woke up Sunday morning ready to fly back to Atlanta, both of us had the same reaction. I want to be at home in my own bed. Did point out after both of us said it that it was our bed, not her bed and my bed. Yeah. But I wanted, there's that wanting to travel and wanting to nest. And so there's a dance. And then how do I stay in momentum and stay in that cascade connection even while I'm here, so that as soon as I'm back and centered and recharging, I don't turn off. That same momentum, that same impulse power is still happening. I think that's where the imprint danger is. It's getting back and going, and just stopping. This is very inertia. It's very attractive, the negative inertia, just the parking still. That's very seductive.
Yeah,
I can feel my imprint in the chair.
Yeah, like
I can feel it.
I don't know if y'all get what I'm getting, but like it's beyond just feeling it. Like I can see it every single moment. Yeah, just like it is seductive. I can I can see it. Like I can see there's this whole kind of conversation. It's a lean back. Like you're like
I am the chair.
Yes, indeed.
See, that's the danger. Is becoming one with the furniture, and it's staying in that zone, staying in that, and it's not flow. There's an energetic forward nature to it, and staying in that even while I'm sitting still.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I got you. So, well, actually,
I don't have an answer to what that structure would be yet. And that's because this is all bubbling up now. So
yeah. The thing that, so let me see if I'm hearing what you're saying. But what I'm getting here is that you are constructing a life that really does have travel at the core of it. Travel with a lane at the core of it. It's like either we're traveling for ourselves, we're traveling for our children, or we're traveling with our clients. But travel's at the core. And there's a tension of that too, because it's like you're doing it right now. You're actually living that life in this moment, and you're like, whew, it is good to be back in our bed, right?
Thank you.
And to sit in my chair and carve out more of my imprint, right? And also what I think I'm hearing here is that there's a level of like you're like, my impact is outside of the house. And I want to make sure I'm getting that right. My impact is outside of the house. And it feels to me that like what you're getting at is just that, like, what's the impetus to restart? Like if you come home and you sit in and you start becoming a chair, I'm not necessarily sure if that's a like good or bad thing. Like, I just feel like you need to recharge. What I hear from you is that it's the inertia of that an object that rest tends to stay at rest. So how can we get
rest? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I'm also not getting that, like, you talked about the momentum, and let me just check in with you. Like, do you want to be on all the time, like while you're back at home?
Oh no, I've done that. That burns me out. It's so there's a great distinction to be found there. It's not the being on all the time. It's the difference between being on, which is like on stage all the time, or on high gear. You know, before I got a handle on the ADD, I had two speeds, off and high speed, and there was nothing in between. And so I would burn out and crash for several days, and it's not productive. It's about being on purpose all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not being on all the time. It's being on purpose all the time. Georgie's got that. It's that stillness that comes from being on purpose. That is a forward energy, fucking brilliance.
Awesome. And this so I can see here, when like you can be on purpose and still be in, like, help me see. Show me what.
I can be on purpose and on the beach at the same time.
Perfect.
But the trick is not turning off.
Okay. All right. So, and I see you, Georgie. Give me a second here. I just want to follow this through real quick, and then we'll pull you in. So when it comes to the turning off, like, here goes the question. The question is, I have a couple of different questions here. One, can you turn off? And is it okay if like to turn back on? Right. So I guess the question in my mind is it that you don't want to turn it off at all, and you want to just stay on purpose and everything? Or do you want to have like the space to be able to turn off and then be able to come back in on purpose, like in a reasonable time frame, or whatever reasonable is for you?
Yeah. Well, there's ADD's a world where activation is challenged, and so yes, there's that piece. It's getting geared up, but I think that it's very easy to go into the old habit of turning off completely, reverting to form. I don't know it's not the right phrase, but it's just, do you know how many great television shows there are to binge watch? I mean, I'm like 6 years behind on everything. So they're just, and there are things that my child has been in that I haven't seen yet, right? Yeah. So it's like, so there's always a list of things to do that are enjoyable and not directly related to my impact in the world. And it's very easy to go down a rabbit hole of, oh, this is easy, right?
Yeah. Comfort.
It's soothing. I think that's what it is.
Awesome.
It's leaning into the soothing.
You know, and it's really interesting because it's like there's no part of me that wants to take that away from you, right? I enjoy watching all this, watching TV and being soothed as well, because you're out there. The thing is, you know what burnout has been. We've talked about it before, right? So there is that element there. I would. The question that comes to mind here is that in my mind, I'm really curious about what the support would look like, such that you are still supported in making your impact out in the world while you're making your imprint, so that it doesn't have to be one or the other. Like, so I know that you have the book that's out. Yeah. It's like, it's just trying to think around like what support would you need such that it will still move?
And all the hair just turned up on the back of my neck. I'm 3 days away from hearing about legal review. Then it goes to editorial review. So I'm right in that. I realize that there's a lot of energy pent up in waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I can navigate the editorial review because that's a back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But the legal review part, I'm like, oh God, it's like a skull crushing wait. 12 days into a 15-day run.
Yep.
Just, convincing yourself that it'll be early.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so there's a lot. I think there's a lot of. I got a lot to do between now and launch. So, and I noticed that.
It came up, and question for you around that there, because like I'm not sure if you see it, Georgie, but it's entire, like, your whole posture has changed. Like
yeah.
you were in an off mode.
Yeah,
and then you're like, I am chilling, I am off, I could be here, and you're like, whoa,
that's what's left today.
Yeah,
that
neck tingles.
Yeah.
So just kind of like calling it out. If this moment right here, with just what you just experienced right here, right, was kind of an energetic shock where you felt it in the back of your neck or whatever, and it pulled you out of inertia in that regard, right? Are there ways that you can set up support for you such that you can have those tingles when you need it? When it's time for you to go down, it's great, but those tingles are able to come into place. I think that I'm curious around, is there a pool?
There's not a solution for that yet. It's still in the awareness piece.
Got you.
Right.
Got you. Yeah.
I'm not a fix yet. I'm still at unpack.
Okay. David, I'm going to come back to you in a bit here. All right. I'm going to go over to Georgie. Hey, Georgie.
Howdy, Niiamah.
Hey. For you today, what would make this an incredible conversation?
Okay, I've had two insights already today that I'd like to share, and let's see how it goes from there. Mm-hmm. So the first thing is that my impact on the world is going to be small but profound. Small systemic shifts in how people see themselves or see the world that has huge ripple-on effects, that unlocks and unleashes. It doesn't have to be, it's just slight and profound. I think when you read eyes and stuff, you can start to really sort of work at that deeper level. And then in terms of the support that I need, thinking about it, obviously people are going to be huge, but feedback is the other one. Knowing and feeling that I am, especially if it is that small, slight change. And if I meet people, I might never see them again, right? And I've done that. I've met people years later who remember me or who I've had a huge impact on. I think feedback is really important. I think that first insight was huge for me. It doesn't need to be a big shift in terms of at the moment. It could just be like an eye awakener for them. But the knock-on effects are huge. It's systemic. That's the space I think I want to play at. This has been such a useful mastermind class. Because that stuff is almost just natural.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing from you. I'm hearing like your next level is just, all it is just being natural. And it's just like, there's just like so much ease and grace and power and depth within all of that.
When I called bullshit to my fear when we were here last time, something shifted massively. I just felt like I did before I came to Singapore. Just my heart opened up again, and I was like, I remember this is how I'm supposed to feel. Just kicked out that external fear. Didn't identify with it. So yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it again.
I can feel my heart right now, just like warming up and feeling that there, because I can see the impact that you've had on people, and you keep having, and to give, and really that feeling of it was like before I came to Singapore. I feel like from our conversations, it means a lot. You know, it means a lot. So, welcome back to that feeling. You know,
Thank you for inviting me and calling me out.
Yeah. Georgie, we're gonna go to you. You had something that you wanted to say to DTK, and I want to make sure that if it needs to come out, is it still with you?
It's still with me, but it's not relevant. It kind of progressed from there. So
okay, all right, wonderful. So feedback, and in terms of support, and just really being able to look at it's like a targeted, just like profound systemic changes and impact with people. Where would we go? This is our last conversation in this masterclass here, right? And we're looking at, but I wanted to make sure that you're supported in the long run, right? So you brought up feedback in this case here. Is there anything that we should be exploring with that, or is there something else that would be more impactful for you?
I don't think we need to explore feedback. I think where I'm at is not about acquiring stuff. It's not about needing to go out and sell myself at the next level. It's the opposite of what I thought I would get out of this class. It's really about letting go of expectations, letting go of outcomes, and just trusting. I get to sit in this chair, David.
it's like you're gonna see. Let me make that. Yes.
But also just going out and meeting people. You know, I want to be like the old village elder.
Yeah. And I like again. It just again, right? That's the thing. Like as you said, I'm like, it just feels like easily. It just feels, yeah. I really want to acknowledge you, Georgina. Like you've really come and allowed yourself in each conversation to accept the invitations that we're putting out there, and to allow more and more of what's natural for you to just be. And it is very attracting, and it is something that it's like that is how do I say it? It creates its own gravitas around you. And I just really want to acknowledge you for leaning into that and going with that as well.
Thank you for everything.
Yeah. Most certainly.
And DTK.
David, I'm going to come back to you then a bit. Georgie, it feels like right now, like you're good, like you're getting what you need to get from here. So DTK, I'm going to come back to you in just a little bit. What I want to do is I'm going to actually take a quick pause here and just talk directly to anyone that's watching this here to let them know some of the ways that I can support and some of the things that we're building out from there. So kudos to you on making it and really being involved throughout this masterclass. This masterclass was focused on one specific pillar here, and the pillar of playing at your next level. And as I had shared earlier, for me, when it comes to me playing at various stages of my next level, it has always come in the company of others. I've been involved in masterminds for the last 6 years, and it's been something that has continued to support me. I've had coaches, I've been part of communities, I've started my own, and so on and so forth. And there's something there around being surrounded by others that has really been a big fuel of this game. And now, as we look to continue here, I've decided to bring together 2 different groups of people. Actually, to tell you the truth, it's not even bringing together groups. It's interesting. We call it a community of practice. I can feel myself getting excited about it right now. We call it a community of practice. And that language is chosen very deliberately because we're inviting 10 people to come and join us in January of 2020 to play in 2 communities of practice. One that's specifically related to being a trailblazer in the world, and the other around being unapologetically yourself. When it comes to being unapologetically yourself, this is really about your self-growth and your self-development journey around taking the different elements of yourself that make you and be able to let that shine in the world simply by living your life. I think about this a lot. Recently, became Niiamah again after 15 years. And it was my own, it was my own Be More You journey. And what has been surprising for me was, one, it's almost as though I had known it all along, that the more that I can return to myself, the more that I can allow myself to come through, the more opportunities that will come available to me. And as Niiamah, I'm finding myself creating in the ways that I haven't created before. As Niiamah, I am finding myself allowing myself to simply be and not have to justify that or not, and allow it to just take place. And I'm finding myself specifically going out and honestly just not apologizing in service of what I really am here for. In service of what I am really here for. And I feel that that alignment has never been more complete as it is right now. So Unapologetically You is a community of practice where you can come in and really get oriented with your unique strengths, your vision, where you're headed in the world, but as you are right now. And to have, let's be real, the courage to do that. Because in today's society, it is not an easy thing to be you out in the world. And so we've created this community of practice. I want to let you know that it exists. If you're interested in finding out more, you can come out and talk to me. Just send me a message. But we've created this community of practice to operate differently. This is a place where you actually get a chance to practice. You've actually seen it in the Next Level Masterclass already. You've seen the way that that rather than waiting to be a certain type of way in the world, we've gotten a chance in these conversations to let who we are out in this moment, and to excavate and find out more about ourselves, and to really reclaim who we really are so that we can go forth from there. In the Trailblazer Oasis, this one is really for people who they're on a movement. It's about the impact that you're going to make in the world, and the ways that your vision, your platform. I can even find myself in this moment just looking at it to really say, because I'm like so excited about it. Let me just get into what's real about it for me. I am so freaking excited about the Trailblazer Oasis, because this is the program that I have been searching for my entire life. It's a place where one of the biggest struggles I've been having as a trailblazer is that, like, there is no path ahead of me. I talk about it and it sounds cool to me, at least. It's really sexy to be like, I'm making my own path. I'm going my own way. And it is also one of the most challenging things that I've done, because when there is no path for you, there's no one that can actually really tell you what to do next. And it's been a constant struggle to find the inspiration for myself. I second guess myself all the time. The amounts of doubts that I have, the ways that I communicate with others, in terms of really showing up as a movement leader. And I found that although the work for myself has been continued to get done in terms of, am I showing up in the world for myself, as myself, there's additional work. There's a different level of work that goes from the self-leadership to bringing out into the world and making your impact with others and other leadership as well. So the Trailblazer Oasis is for those that are feeling great around who they are. There's always going to be more exploration that comes with it. I can't help but do it. But to leverage who they are out in the world for others. So in this here, this is a 9-month community of practice where we get a chance to explore what it is, how you do your thing to really lead other people. And if you're interested in either of them, you can go to niiamahashong.com/trailblazer oasis for more information, or niiamahashong.com/unapologeticallyyou for more information. Or just send me a message. Really, realistically, that's the next step. Just send me a message, and let's get into a conversation, because it's so much more than even what I'm saying right now. Right? I'm here to support you, and I want to make sure you're doing it with a group of 10 curated people who are playing at high levels and still looking to take it deeper with themselves and take it to the next level out in the world. I invite you to that. I'm excited to play with you. enrollment is happening right now, and we begin in January of 2020. Let's have a conversation. Awesome. I'm now. It's really interesting because like this has been something that's been really important to me. Yeah, like it's something that's been really important to me, and I can feel myself like shifting the energies to share that. But this next level masterclass has also been about me playing at my next level, right? And being able to see how do I want to operate to make my impact in different ways. And this is the next part of the game that we're playing. It's actually called out a lot in terms of visibility as well. And the visibility for me is not around Facebook lives or coming on live and everything, but it's like, am I willing to be visible and seen in the messiness of sharing a program for the first time, or really going out there and putting out the vision out to the world. I think that's where like the community of practice really lives. We get a chance to practice with each other and then go out in the world and do it as though it's nice and easy, right? Or do it out in the world and have it be really, really messy still, and then come back and practice some more, right? But I want to make sure that you all know that opportunity is available. Those opportunities are available, and let's just have a conversation from there. Awesome. So DTK, I'm going to come to you. I'm going to come back into this conversation right here, right?
That was a lot, man.
Yeah.
You gotta get that out.
I needed to, and I need to. It's the reason why. It's the reason why. How do I say it? No, I just think I just needed to. It just needed to come out.
It's time.
And I'm happy to play. Yeah. It is time. I mean, and that's really it. Like a lot of my things, it's like now is the time. Now is the time for we are perfectly set up in this world to make impact. Like the number of issues that are happening all around the world, the number of ways that we're connected to one another, and the fact that like how connected a decision in one area, like one country, one company, like how that impacts so many millions of people.
Well, I say how interconnected we are, but how disconnected we are.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah,
exactly. And I think that's the reason why, like, why these sessions, why the next level masterclass, the Trailblazer Oasis, and Unapologetically You, because it's like if we have people out there who are creating even more connections, but they're disconnected from a vision of the future, they're disconnected from themselves, and they're actually scaling more disconnection. They're scaling that. And it's one of those things where I ask myself, well, what if I was president, or what if someone else was president of this organization, of this country, of this whatever it is, right? And it's like we would be scaling something completely different. Why aren't we actually playing that game? Why aren't we out there actually making this happen? Because we are all born of the same flesh and blood. And that's what this is about for me. This is about like being able to make sure that the players who can really create a future that's distinct from our past are out there playing the game. That's why I love showing up for you too.
That's the difference between an infinite game and a finite game, right? The finite game is the short game, and it's easy to see, and it's easy to capitalize on, and it's easy to understand, and it's easy to manipulate, so people play it.
Yeah.
The infinite game takes more.
Takes more, and the only way to win that game is just to be in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a lot. This is all about getting activated. You used that word earlier, and like it stuck with me. This is all about being activated and making those moves from there. Absolutely.
You've got to be infinite, not outfinite.
I don't know which one it is. It's all about.
Yeah. I'm like in my mind. I don't know in my mind, there's a new space that's being opened there. But I love that there, right? I really love how all this all comes together. It's all related, and it's the reason why I ask the questions that I ask, because each of you here are just phenomenal leaders who have different levels, different ways that you're bringing your impact to the world. Targeted, profound, and systemic from that way. And that's how you're making it. David, you have impact billionaires and helping your clients launch and continue on from there. And you yourself being the beacon and example of this, of being able to show like what it's like to live this kind of life and to have that actually as an option as well. y'all already playing big games, and I really respect you for both of that there. And I think that's why I'm so drawn to see like what will continue to serve you, and to really be able to really choose that service right now. So David, in our last few minutes here, right? Let's do this. I think we're just about at time, so we're not going to go much further deep here. I don't think that that wouldn't serve in this way. What I'd love to hear from each of you here is, you've been involved in the masterclass from the beginning. I'd love to hear from you, as we close out, what one of your bigger insights are, or one of the things that you're going to continue to take away as a result of this masterclass. I'll go first, and then we'll go on from there. So, like, for me, the impact of this masterclass has really been around playing with people who pull out the most in me. The masterclass itself has been an exercise in allowing myself to go for exactly what I want, with exactly who I want to go with, and to consistently play at my next level. It's easy for me to have conversations with people one-on-one. It's fun for me to have conversations in this way, and to be able to do it in a way where we don't lose the depth, but we're actually able to create the connections. My mission in life is to bring together a truly inclusive and empowered world. And the impact of this masterclass on me was that, like, this was an iteration of that. I'm bringing together some of the greatest leaders that I know, and we're creating from there. And in that moment, in these conversations, my mission and my vision has been realized. And that is something I'm taking out from here, because all I'm going to do is keep doing this at various levels of scale and magnification, and it's game on. David, how about you?
And I think it's something that what's going to stay with me is something from today's conversation, that awareness about being on purpose is something that you can do all the time without being on and burning out, right? And I think it's, how do I keep that purpose lit all the time, right? That's not a how. That's not the right language for the question, because this isn't a how. It's the holding space for that being on all the time. I think that's the place for me to play.
Thank you for that, David. Thank you for letting us see you. Thank you for letting us see your
pilot light built.
Yeah. The pilot light. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Georgie, let us know for you.
It's been pretty fundamental and fun for me, because before I was looking at scaling a business. Now I'm looking at returning to myself. And from the first session, that side was noticed and appreciated and drawn. And I never really thought about bringing that higher self. No, always higher self, that's fine, but never bringing in that side that could I read and everything else. And it was immediately accepted and invited and enticed. And I kind of thought, well, maybe I should be. And that was just session one. That's become compounded. And then last session, it was really letting go of something that's been holding me back for 16 years and beginning to feel it back in my heart. I feel much clearer and brighter and more loving and more centered. And it's been an emotional is not the right word. It's been lovely. Yeah. I'm not articulating it very well, but yeah, it's amazing. Maybe you can feel it.
I think that's the thing. Like your words are not necessary in this case here. We do feel it, and I'm going to say on that there. I get you, and it receives here. I want to thank you both for being a part of this masterclass. I want to acknowledge anyone that is watching this here, and just I want to acknowledge you two for them. this right here, like choosing to come onto a session like this and to not hold back, but to actually still show who you are throughout each of it, to let the realness of your real life and what's happening for you in these real moments come out here. That takes courage. That takes courage. And it also takes, and if it doesn't take courage, I just really want to salute you for doing the work to just let it be. All right. So I honor both of you here. I acknowledge both of you here. And I acknowledge all of you in this moment here. What we do as a community when we come together, it's transformational. And a lot of times we don't have the words to put to it. I stumbled over my words here earlier today, and it's for a reason, because the impact of what we do is so profound that it's hard to really encapsulate it. Come and experience it. And if this is something that, if you're looking to have your own insights, your own transformations, and you're ready to do it with a group of different-minded but like-hearted people, we should talk. Thanks for being a part of the Next Level Masterclass. Until later on, be more you, because you are a gift to the world. Game on.